Hello guys, welcome back with me. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Boston maritime workers are at disadvantage in some maritime cases. In other maritime injury cases, they have some advantages in their favor, but only a skilled Boston maritime attorney will be able to figure it all out. So whether you're in Houston, Harris County, Pasadena, Baytown, or the outlying suburbs. If you've been injured at sea and are in need of a Houston Maritime Injury Attorney, Patrick Daniel Law is here to help. Contract our for free. Patrick Daniel has argued maritime injury cases from both sides and has extensive experience not only in the way Houston maritime law cases proceed, but also in the work that goes on at sea by employees of hundreds of Houston maritime companies. Here is a short list of the types of Houston maritime injury cases he has handled in both Texas and elsewhere. Houston is much more than oil and aerospace. A recent study showed that Houston, Texas is the number 2 city in the country for jobs connected to maritime through the moving of cargo between U.S. ports. Only nearby New Orleans has more workers in the maritime industry. When you add up the workers from all Texas ports, it holds Texas as the number 3 state in the U.S. in cargo transportation between American ports. The Port of Houston includes over 200 private and public terminals, handling over 8,200 seagoing vessels and 200 and 215,000 barges every year. Thousands of maritime employees call the Houston area home. It should come as no surprise then that there are a multitude of maritime injury cases in Houston. Maritime workers who are injured at sea do not have many of the resources that land-based workers do, and often have to hire a maritime injury lawyer in Houston to protect their rights and help them recover losses that stem from their maritime injury. Houston maritime lawyers are plentiful and they know admiralty law or maritime law inside out, but experience is key. As an elite maritime injury lawyer, Founder has litigated hundreds of maritime injury cases and has substantially covers for his clients. But this process requires more than a successful courtroom attorney. Maritime work is grueling, unforgiving, and raw, and any Houston, Texas lawyer who aspires to represent maritime workers had better know the work as well as he knows the law. That's what sets that what sets law ahead of other law firms in Houston, Texas. He knows the work. He grew in Louisiana and has 20 years experience in litigating maritime cases, some of it from the other side of the courtroom. There are literally hundreds of maritime companies in Houston, and even though they claim to appreciate their employees and the sacrifices they make, you're only one fall on a slippery deck or one trembling part of cargo in heavy seas from discovering how much or how little they truly do care. If you are injured at sea, don't assume your employer will compensate you fairly and make sure your medical bills are covered. Any one of a host of Houston maritime lawyers will quickly point out that the ball game changes drastically when an injury occurs. Not only that, but the rules are different for maritime employees and land-based employees. Defendants in maritime law cases try to hide behind the nuances of maritime law, hoping the injured party is not up to speed on them. For instance, workman's comp does not apply to injuries suffered while at sea, but thanks to the federal Jones Act, maritime workers have the ability to sue their employers for compensation, and employers are held accountable to provide reasonably safe working conditions and to maintain their vessels so that they are safe and seaworthy. Maritime law thus differs from the law of the sea, which governs international trade, mineral rights, jurisdiction over coast waters, treaties, and relations between countries. Admiralty cases are no more local in concept, involving civil suits in individuals, companies, and representatives of these companies. The quick answer to the question of when you should call a lawyer after an accident at sea is as soon as your ship docks in Houston. If you have cell phone or Wi-Fi access and the privilege of making personal phone calls on board, call or contact an attorney as soon as you can. If your ship allows workers to make personal calls, the management cannot take action against you if you use your time to call an attorney. A common mistake some workers make is trying to appear to be a team player who doesn't want to stir things up with the threat of lawsuit. There could be quite a price to pay in order to protect an image that won't even benefit you in the long run. A lot of Houston maritime workers are former workers who can't work anymore, which they had called an attorney promptly after their accident. Don't try to determine by yourself if you have a case worth filling, despite all the blogs and websites that try to advise you on a do-it-yourself courtroom strategy. Make the smart move and call an attorney. Admiralty cases that he can generally recognize a winnable case in just the first few minutes of a free consultation. Aside your case, the legal fee will come out of the final settlement and you will have no out-of-pocket expense. Maybe that's all from me. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.